Should we put on your little baking hat? You got it! Today she discovered sugar for the first time.
They're my favorite.
Sorry.
There's only 2 steps.
What was your first impression of Dallin?
Yep.
Dang it!
It's good. It's good. Just one bite is all it takes. It's the apple. Story is good.
Welcome back to Baking with Bella and Story. Today we are doing something, we're gonna actually take it back to my childhood. When I was a kid, my dad would always make something called candy apples. Have you ever had a candy apple before? The last time I was doing this, we actually made tanghulu, which is basically like a sugar-coated fruit. But this is a candied version of that. You can buy this mix at the store. And my dad would make this all the time growing up, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity for Story's Poppy to come on and bake with us today. So you want Poppy to come in here? Can you say Poppy? Wait, before Poppy comes in, should we put on your little baking hat? Because you gotta make sure you have your little baking hat, and then I have some utensils for you. This is a rolling pin, this is a spatula, a wooden spoon, a ladle. Let's bring in my dad, or like Story calls him, Poppy. Come on in! Special guest today. This is my dad, everybody. The one, the only, Warren Ween.
I think it's the first video I've ever been on.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been in any
Never.
video. What do you think about making some candy apples?
That sounds great. They're my favorite.
There's like 2 things that I remember from my childhood that you would always make. Actually 3 things. He would make, have you ever heard of malto meal? Anybody? Chocolate malto meal. And that was like a staple, like a delicacy if he made that. He would make candy apples. And then the 3rd thing is when he would come home from work, he would bring me nerd ropes. He would bring me a full nerd rope. You gotta tell, what was I like as a kid? You gotta tell the people. Was I the coolest kid or what? The perfect daughter.
You're awesome, and this candy apples brings back so many good memories from my
So
childhood.
your parents never made them for you?
Nope.
Dang, I have cool parents.
I discovered how to make them after I got old enough, and been making them ever since.
So what's the first step?
Take the stuff out of the box. I think Story's got that already.
You got it!
It's a really detailed recipe. You gotta be very careful to make sure you apply all the ingredients very carefully.
There's one ingredient, literally.
Yeah, it's already pre-mixed. How awesome is that?
That's actually really nice.
Yeah, and it comes in this fancy box. I've only ever seen this box of it, so.
This is what the
This
box
is the
looks
box.
like.
We need this, and technically we do need sugar, and I guess you could count water.
So it's not one ingredient,
No,
it's 3 ingredients.
So if you have white granulated sugar, we're gonna mix this with, I think it's a cup or a cup and a half. I still have to look at the bottle. That's the second step.
Oh, okay, sorry.
There's only 2 steps. This isn't 2.5 cups. I don't even have to try and measure it. But the only ingredient we have, and you don't have to, actually, no, you guys are way too healthy to have 2.5 cups of sugar in your mouth.
No!
I should've
Literally,
brought-
it's like
I
2
should've brought
ingredients.
myself.
I got everything else.
I should've
And then
brought
we
myself.
need sugar. Yeah, dang it.
Sugar.
Okay.
Imagine that. Candy apples need sugar.
So we're gonna get some sugar, and then we're gonna be able to continue this recipe.
Yep.
Dang it! I guess while we're waiting for sugar to get here, I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Sure.
What's your favorite memory of me as a child?
So many.
Don't cry.
I remember, I think you were watching Snow White.
Oh my gosh.
And I think you remember, but it just cracked me up. You were into theater and arts all the time, so you'd always run around the house acting things. And so once you saw Snow White, you came in our room, mine and Mom's room, with an apple. And you kept on saying, in a little old lady's voice, you kept on offering us a poison apple. Would you like an apple? Would you like
an apple?
Exactly. And it was hilarious. I still remember that, you know. And I just remember you always being a little actress. You'd always be like doing things like that. But it was so funny. I had you do that for like hours after that. I thought it was so funny.
Eat the apple.
Exactly.
It's good. Just one bite is all it takes.
Exactly. And you had a real apple too.
I remember.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I sometimes still bring that. That's like my party trick. Wait, should I go get the whole blanket and do the whole thing? Dallin's laughing at me. Wait, watch. I still got it.
Just one bite is all it takes. Eat the apple. Story is good.
Sorry. Oh my gosh, I scared her. No, it's okay. It's okay.
You literally transformed into a witch.
It's okay, babe. It's me. She never cries.
That's how convincing an actress you are.
The one video you have been on, the most monumental, was when you found out that we adopted Story.
Yeah.
So we need to play a clip of that because that is the funniest thing. What was going on in your head during that? Because your famous line is,
"Where did you get that? Where did you get that? Where did you get that?"
It did not, my brain was short-circuiting. I did not compute for a few minutes until after it finally dawned on me. I have been on one other video though.
which one?
There's one other one.
Which one?
And it was the one where you filmed me when I didn't know and I was playing the story. Everyone's trying to look like Gordon Ramsay. So I don't know like Gordon Ramsay, but
You guys
that's
didn't
good.
know. Gordon Ramsay is my dad, and he's here in the kitchen with
That's
me today.
good. But that's good for today because it'll be the best candy apples ever.
Oh, instead of Hell's Kitchen, we're calling this Heaven's Kitchen.
All right, so while we're waiting for the sugar, we will start step number 2. Usually you have plenty of time while the sugar is simmering to do this, but you just need a pan, simple, where the candy apples are gonna go. And we are going to clean them up. Usually I get the pot going with the sugar. It needs to get the hard crack. And then we're gonna clean them up. So all there is to it is de-stimming them.
Okay.
Which is, grabbing it and twisting it.
Wait,
Really
do you
good.
know this trick as a kid when you're in school and you're like, whatever letter it ends off on is who you have a crush on. Ready? A, B, C, D.
Yeah. Oh.
It works every
Amazing.
time.
So do that and you take the sticker off. So there's 2 important things. Stem goes off and then the sticker and then we wash them.
This is a very difficult recipe.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I've never had a helper before.
I know you always do this by yourself. Literally, I would just sit on the couch like watching Hannah Montana, waiting for my candy apples to be done.
I always like to wash them. We might as well finish step 2.
Okay.
Those go in the top and they have to go in pretty well because they have to hold while you're spinning them around in the sugar.
Like
halfway, yeah.
Dad, other question. What do you think is one of your greatest accomplishments in life?
My greatest accomplishments. Man, you shouldn't give me the time to think about this.
I'm putting you on the spot. You made me do my eat the apple on the spot.
I would say probably being married for 30 years.
That's good. That's
That
a very
is,
good accomplishment.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest accomplishment is being married to your mother for 30 years and having all the time with you guys. So
30 years. Everyone clap in the chat, clap in the chat. Today she discovered sugar for the first time.
lolly lolly, that apple's gonna taste a lot better now.
Yeah, in just a minute it's gonna taste real good.
So the trick is you gotta get more than the top of it, like this. And then from the back of this, you just kinda just do that. Usually over the back.
Dang, who taught you how to bake like this?
Wow.
I'm
So
impressed.
now we need
The measurements.
We need one of those, yep.
Okay.
One more of these.
Wait, let me see if I can do this.
Got one more. Okay, last one. That'll be 2.5.
She has sugar all over her face.
Can't
One
go
cup.
over, can't go in exactly one
exactly.
cup. So perfect.
What we're doing right now, we just added the mixture, we added the water. Now, what do we do, Dad?
The last thing we just added is the actual mix itself.
Okay.
To the sugar and the water. We have our 3 ingredients.
Amazing. They
It's
look
nice and red.
delicious.
And the cool thing about candy apples is you don't even have to stir it. You
Oh.
just turn the burner on.
You really don't even stir the mixture in?
Nope, it just boils. So once you get that all together, you just turn it on and let it go. It needs to come to a boil.
Let's wait for that to boil. All right, next question. What is your favorite thing about being a grandpa? This is my dad's first ever grandchild.
Story is the child that made me a grandpa.
How's
or
that
a
feel?
poppy. Story is just the most amazing little soul ever and couldn't be more happy. I love her to death and she's my favorite thing in the world.
It's funny because I never thought that I would be at an age where my parents would come over and ask me what's for dinner.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for those to boil, what was your first impression of Dallin when you first met him when I brought him
Oh
home?
man, you were my little precious daughter, and so no one was ever going to be good enough for you. So I was always, anyone you dated, they were never good enough for me.
Oh, I know. You made one of my ex-boyfriends cry.
I can tell you that I did not like anyone dating you just because you were just my young daughter, and so I was very, 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 very picky. You were a little bit older when you met Dallin, and I could tell that he really cared about you and treated you with respect and nice and the way that I would want you to be treated. As I got to know him, I didn't know he was going to be so cool and turned out to be such a great guy. I wouldn't go so far as to say impressed, but I was happy with Dallin. Now I can say Dallin's amazing, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't have picked anyone else for you.
Dallin's smiling behind the camera. What would you say for someone on how to be more positive, or any advice you have for someone to always see the positive side?
I would say if you can do anything in your life, make a choice to try and look at everything through that lens of being positive. It will change things around you. I know that sounds a little mystic and things like that, but it really is true. Even in the darkest times, there's always something to find that can be viewed as positive, and there's things in your life that I'm sure that are positive. You have blessings and health or whatever it is.
Good advice. I like to hear it. We should check our mixture because it looks like
Okay.
it's really getting thick.
Getting close.
We just realized the mixture is ready and it's cracking. We would put like little strings of it on top and then it would crack, and that's how you know it's done. So we have to be quick with this because it's ready.
You have to do really quick. You can't leave the apple in too long, so it's really just one motion. Really quick.
Good. Have you ever done?
You could have done 2 boxes.
Okay. We're gonna try it. Look at that.
Yep. All right.
Candy apple, just like Daddy makes. That's really good.